to the LetDirtFly YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to buy another quad. I feel like we got like 10 of them now on the channel. But this one, I'm actually going to buy. The last two we got were free given to me, so that needed a lot of work. This is a little different of amount of work. It's going to create a lot of good content for the channel. That's the main reason I'm getting it, and also one other big reason. A little while ago, I told some of you guys, if you're new here, obviously you haven't heard this yet, but I have my fiance's Can-Am Outlander 500. It's a great little machine. It's a little lacking on power, but other than that, it's a great machine. We basically turned the thing into an XMR. Like I said, it works the way it is. It's just very underpowered. So my goal was to put a 650 engine into it that I actually took out of my machine, my 2020 650 XMR. I had the harness, the whole nine, everything to make everything work. But as I started adding up cost-wise and retail, if I went to go sell a quad again, you have mismatched engines from that VIN and all that fun stuff. Not that it matters to somebody buying a machine, it's not like a car or anything, but this is one of those things where I was just didn't make sense. If I was to take the 500 engine out, possibly sell it, probably wouldn't get that much money for it. Same thing with the harness, the ECU, all that stuff is not very desirable. Now my 650 XMR stuff, that stuff's a little bit more desirable because the 650 engine's still pretty much around. Obviously Can-Am went to the 700 and stuff like that, but I mean they made the 650 for a while. They only made the 500 for the first few years of the G2 chassis, and then previously with the G1s. So not a very sought after engine as far as if somebody's looking for one. You weren't really blowing these things up. So my idea here that actually is going to make me money in the long run, I'm going to be selling my 650 engine as well as the harness and everything, whole nine, selling all that stuff, getting rid of it, and I'm going to be getting a different quad for her. So this just made more sense for me personally and financially. So like I said, between trading my trailer and doing everything else, it's actually going to make me some money in the long run. So it's one of those things that you got to do what's right. So right now I'm heading over to Connecticut. We're gonna go ahead and trade this guy for this machine as well as all good, and we'll be good to go.
2 hours later.
All right guys, so the deed is done. Went ahead and grabbed this machine. It's really nice. So right now we're actually heading home and going to unload it and check it out with you guys. If it's a little too dark, it might end up being tomorrow, but in the same video, so stay tuned.
The next day.
All right guys, so it's actually the next day here. I just got home from work. It's raining out a little bit, unfortunately, but I wanted to show you guys the new machine. So before I even show you guys it, I just want to get something out of the way here. So a lot of you came to the channel in 2020 when I picked up my 2020 Can-Am Outlander 650 XMR, and I did a lot of modifying to it and everything. People were liking it, but then I went to the 850, and I said, I feel like I let you guys down a little bit. So what I went and bought is a 2019 Can-Am Outlander 650 XMR for my fiance, and we're calling this bad boy Killer B, which is the name of her 500, funny enough, but we're just going to transfer the name over because this one's not going to be actually Killer. Here it is. So here is the new Killer B. So the 500 is going to go all back to stock, and this thing is going to be the new Killer B on the channel. This thing is going to be going through some massive changes here soon on the channel. Right off the bat, this thing is not staying stock after this day. Basically, it's going to go for a quick ride in the swamp with it, and then we're just going to go ahead straight to modifications. We're going to be putting on the 30-inch cryptids off of her 500, putting those bad boys on, even though they're not really 30s. CVTech primary, that's coming off her quad as well. I have my tuned ECU off of my quad that's going to be going on here, because that was a 650 XMR also. I just have to make sure the wiring is correct. It should be. Going to be putting an exhaust off of her quad on here, and that's going to be pretty much it to start, but that's going to make this thing go from a very well performing quad into a mud beast in literally one video. We're gonna be doing that soon, so make sure you guys are subscribing and so you guys can check that out. But right now I think I'm gonna go ahead and get my waders on. We're gonna actually put this thing in the swamp real quick because, well, might as well see how it does stock. I mean, I haven't ridden a 650 stock in a while. Seth's wife's 650, that thing rips really good. Actually, I haven't really ridden that quad much, but I wanted to get a 650 back on the channel for you guys, at least another one. So this way we can rip these things. I mean, they're great quads. Unfortunately, Can-Am's not making it anymore. They have the 500 and 700, but these things are a ton of fun. They have plenty of power for basically anybody. I've kind of shown that my 650's gone through and done a whole bunch of stuff that Seth's 850 has gone through. My problem with my 650 is I over modified it. So I think the main reason I ended up going to the 850 was I just couldn't get it to work. And I think a lot of it was I just did too much to it. I didn't keep it reasonable or logical. I put the stretch in it. I put very large 32s on it. They were actually measured more like 33s. Put the STM secondary, which is what I think actually killed the quad the most. It was driving the wheels too hard, so I had to run very light weights and a very heavy spring in the primary to try to get everything to work. And it did work, it just was never what I wanted. When we got Jill's 650 on the channel, Seth's wife's, that thing actually worked really good. We just did some simple stuff to it. It's got 30-inch Terraccis, CV-Tech primary, tune, and exhaust, and that thing rips. That thing actually keeps up with our 850s and basically everything. So I want to do the same with this quad. We're going to make it into a little 850 killer, and I think it'll do just that because this thing, it's already got a lot of power stock. So right now, I'm going to get the helmet on, waders on. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, got her all set up here. Top her off with a little bit of gas. Camera box on the back. My dad's actually going to be riding with me today. He's going to be riding the 650 XT we rebuilt on the channel. If you guys want to check that out, put a link right up here somewhere so if you guys can see that. But I think he's just grabbing his helmet and glasses real quick. There he is. All right. Oh, he's got the matching goggles. Oh boy. All right, first, before we just put our handlebar deep in some mud, not literally handlebar because this isn't snorkeled yet, but go down to the field and rip it around, see what she feels like power wise. Actually, the only thing I forgot to do, I saw it was a little bit low on coolant, so we'll have to keep an eye on it coming up here. But he was riding it, so it should be fine, but we might have to add a little bit if we're gonna be riding on it hard. So one of the reasons I actually purchased the 650 XMR instead of like an 850 for my fiance, well, one is the power. She's still learning how to ride and stuff like that, and mud ride and whatnot, so I didn't want anything too powerful for her. But the other reason is the suspension. So on a 850 and 1000, you have some pretty harsh suspension. These are still pretty squishy, which is nice. It's not the best for handling and high speed maneuvers and stuff like that, but for cruising trails like this, it's plentiful. And I believe the suspension on these XMRs, even the 650 and the 570s, I believe they are a little bit stiffer than, say, an XT model. So it is still stiffer than an XT, but not as stiff as a big 850 XMR or 1000 or something. Ow! First thing I gotta do, that I always do, hand guards. Ow! Just got whacked right in the hand with a tree. Now, one of the things I kind of disliked with the 650 XMR was the original tires that came on it. They're okay, they do work, and they do get you through the mud. They do dig really bad. They kind of dig and don't propel you through the mud. The other thing too is they're very not very good contact patch if you do any kind of trail riding. So if you're looking for like a more crossover tire that can still do mud, I always like the Cryptids, and the Cryptids came on the 850s and 1000s and stuff like that. So wish these came through with like maybe 27s. I mean, technically the 30s are actually 28-inch from the factory. Alright, let's give her some beans and see. Oh yeah, these tires do not hook up on the grip or on the hard pack. This is all spin. Alright, so I don't know how well you guys are able to see it, but the RPMs on these machines stock are nowhere where they should be as far as if you actually want to put some power to the ground with these things. So first thing we're going to definitely do is a clutch upgrade and also a tune. So this way we can raise our rev limit, because these things make power around 8,000 RPM, And let's just see where she is in high range real quick. It's like 71, 72. So that's really low. They should be at 1,000 RPMs higher, which is a lot on a machine. So fine for a stock application, but if you want to do any kind of mud riding, that's definitely lower than what we want. So that's actually funny enough where the 850s supposedly make power. But Seth and I, we have ours tuned up actually to be about, I'm at 78, 7900 RPM and low with mine. So, but these things really like, especially the 650s, they really like RPM and they do good with it. Yeah, it's like 7250. It's gonna be a lot dartier feeling because of the mud tires. Here's a beast you guys haven't seen in a little bit. Still in gear. Yeah. Nobody knew he was in 4-wheel drive. I forgot the brakes are on the right-hand side with this. You're in 4-wheel drive. What? You were in 4-wheel drive. Yeah.
Why is this thing easier than that?
The skinny tires. Plus you might be on. This thing's misfiring. Here, try that. It's going in and out of cylinder. Might be bad gas. It'll take the road. Yeah, it's running on 1. Well, this thing sits around a lot, so it might have some bad gas in there, needs an injector cleaned or something. It's only running on 1 cylinder. Huh? It's only running on 1 cylinder half the time.
Yeah, it felt a little laggy.
That'd probably be why.
Well, I think it feels nice.
Yeah, you want to ride mine?
Huh?
You want to ride mine?
I guess I could.
It's a different animal than this. I have a feeling it might just be, this thing sits a lot. I mean, it had water go through the injectors at one point, so I have a feeling it might just need some injector cleaner or something. And this thing feels pretty good, right?
Yeah. I don't, like I said, it actually steers easier than mine.
It's because of the tall, skinny tires.
Well, I didn't feel it darty at all. I thought it was pretty comfortable.
Yours just, we gotta check your air pressure too. They might be low on air and stuff like that. These, I don't even know what he has in these. These could be bumped up to like 10, 15 PSI for all I know, which will make it steer very easy, but can you handle my beast?
Probably.
All right, let's go get that. All right. See if we can put my dad in some mud today too. A little low on gas. Alright, got dad on my machine now. The beast. I mean, I can't say anything. This thing's actually pretty beastly. The 850s are just a different animal. They're actually like just torque monsters. These you gotta get into the horsepower in order to make them really work good, especially with bigger tires and stuff. Those, I mean, it doesn't really matter where your RPMs are. It's still gonna pull whatever you throw at it. But if you want it to work efficiently, it'll you gotta let it have it. It's a little bit of RPM. So this is actually kind of funny. This is what my quad started off like as, and now it's that. But this is gonna be a different animal soon. You can feel the power. Like when you hit the gas on these things, it's not like instantaneous torque. It's like it takes a second to get her up and going, but when she's revving, these things are good. He's good. Let's see if I can crawl this. Okay, Mega Mayhem's all right. Okay. right, let's see here. Yeah, she does throw in her a little bit deeper stuff. Woo! It's a little deep from the rain. Try to keep her out of the water here. These megas just dig, man. This is deep today. These megas just don't bite good on the sloppy stuff. They just push like crazy. Well, it did it though. It's pretty deep today. It's deeper than I thought today. Need left-hand throttle on this thing. Woo! That's deeper than normal. Usually it does not go over the fenders. It did it though. I don't know if I can be. This is all ground clearance through here. I don't know if I got this. Oh, maybe I do. Man, this thing needs clutching bad. You can feel Juan's RPM. It just doesn't have the torque. It's doing it though. I'm very happy. I don't have a left-handed throttle on this one. I know they got massive ones back here. That's a big one. Jeez, this thing's almost a lobster.
It is a lobster. I'm gonna call him Chuck. I'm gonna take him home for a bit.
I can't even lean this way. This is why we always add left-handed throttle, guys, because turns out it's a big help with this stuff. Doesn't have the ground clearance that does. There we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, you picked the most muddiest day and watery day you could.
Yeah, we're fine. She's good. This 650 is so fun, man. It's almost fun having more low horsepower stuff because you can just pin it and there's like no real consequence of breaking things. It just doesn't want to break kind of thing, which I'm sure I just jinxed myself, but that's fine.
Hey, what? I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, you buried that bitch.
Yeah, it was, that was way deeper than I was expecting to put it right away, not gonna lie, without checking everything first, but it did it.
I don't want you to be disappointed I had to let Chuck go.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine. There's tons of Chucks back here. Like I said, there's bass over in that other section.
We're gonna have to check that out, man.
I know. Woo! Got in that rut. You see, only 6,600 RPM. Oh, it's just wide open there. That's way, way out of this thing's power. Oh, my glasses are fogging up here. Oh, I gotta grab all the camera gear. Just forgot about that. All right. So now we're gonna head down to the stream here. And it's the easiest way to get most of the crap off these things. So, before power washing, at least the underside, especially since we're about to be doing a lot of work on this thing, so need to get things cleaned up. Heading back up to the house, gonna wash these bad boys off, and this thing is going under the knife very soon here because she needs a little bit of work. She's stock, so it's got some love that it needs. So should be pretty easy though. We have everything. It's gonna be all bolt right on. We're gonna have some nice clutches, well, nice clutch, and then some clutch work done to the secondary, and exhaust tune, and that just makes these 650s come alive. Just getting them to rev out a little bit and make some juice, because 6,600 RPM, we're 1,400 off from its peak power, and that doesn't include the bog, so I gotta get this thing up near like 8,200, and then this thing will be a ripper. All right, so we'll just catch you guys back up at the house. All right guys, apologize about the wind. It's the next day here, and right now this thing is going to be going under the knife. It is not going to look like this anymore. We're going with different wheels and tires. We're going with clutching. We're going with an exhaust, a tune, the whole nine. We're going to turn this thing into a mud beast, the little killer bee. So with that, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We really appreciate the support. Definitely make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on, so this way you can get updates to see when the next video of this thing is coming out, which should be pretty soon. Make sure you're also following us on Instagram and Facebook. That's the best way to reach us if you're trying to get a hold of us. And then also you'll get some behind the scenes content earlier than others. So with that, we'll have to catch you guys next time on LetDirtFly.
Have you forgotten where you were when I was down? Where were you?